What's up, you amazing hackers? I hope you're all doing well today. So we're moving on to part 2 in this amazing series. So in this series, just a quick recap. In the previous one, we found the JWT signature through XXC. We used docx for that. We inserted our attack vector in there. We uploaded it. We opened the file, and then we were able to make ourselves administrator through that JWT token. Now in this episode, let's see what we can do with that, shall we? Now, of course, this episode is going to involve some new functionality, the delete button that we saw in the previous video. Now what I've done is I've created this handy little one-liner. I've just picked it off the internet, and it's going to give me a reverse shell. As you can see, there's a netcat reverse shell in there to my IP address with my port. Now when I upload this file as a docx, which we're going to do, of course, it's not going to be very useful. Let's go back to script.docx. There we go. Let's upload this, and then when we look into our file register, you guys can see this shouldn't be here. We should have a script.docx. Now let's go and open one of these files, and let's go to one of these delete calls, shall we? Because I've made like a hint. Let's go and see if we can find it. There we go. This was the hint that I've made throughout the challenge. Now when we look at one of these files, if it wants to open, of course, I'm just going to go to files /delete. It was question mark. No, it was this one. So I'm just going to open this link, and what this link is going to do is, as you can see, there's a blind command injection in there. Now a couple of things you guys need to know about this blind command injection. There are a couple of separators you guys can use for command injection. I've made a video about this. I will link it in the description below as well, because it's really interesting. You guys go watch it. You guys should have been able to make like your own fuzzing list based on that video, and you should have been able to notice that the developers forgot one separator in their web application filter, and it's this one. Now when you translate this to human readable text, it's going to read new lines, so you're going to just make new lines every single time. And what we're going to do is we're going to cd to user app source upload, and then we're going to execute a command. Now first of all, of course, I've uploaded this file in here, so what I need to do, of course, is move it. So I'm going to do a new line in here, going to do the move, and then we have our script .docx, and we are going to move it to script. I'm going to name it script2.shell because I already have a script.shell in here, and then we're just going to execute the command. Now when we're going to go through our files, you guys can see that it has been renamed to script.shell. We can use the same command to just go shell script.shell, and this should execute our file. Now of course we need to have a netcat listener open, so I'm going to close this down real quick, going to show you guys how as well. I just use nc-lvp for listening verbose on port 1234. We're going to start this and now when we execute our command, we're going to be on the box, as you guys can see. Now let's see who we are here. So who am I? Okay, I am root apparently. This cannot be possible because I'm not really root. I'll tell you guys why later, of course. But let's see what we can find in here. So we can see this. Okay, let's cd to /. Let's see what's in here. In the root directory, we have some cool things. And we see flag2.txt. So let's cat that. Cat flag2.txt. Of course, this is an interactive shell, so I cannot do tab. And we have our second flag, rats make tunnels. That's really interesting because we're already at our second flag, and this one is going to give you guys points. Now, I say already, it only took me a couple of minutes in here, but of course I didn't solve this that easily the first time I went through this. It took me a whole lot of time. Now, of course, we'll see if we can, what else we can do, because it seems like we're root, but we're not really root yet. Guess what, guys? We're in a Docker environment, so that's going to be fun. As you guys can see, we have our IP address here. So let's see if we can ping some other hosts in the network, shall we? You guys can, of course, also upload an nmap binary and do some scans on those. that's going to be necessary. We'll go into that a little bit later. So let's see if we can, of course we need to do the right one, minus count. Let's do 3 counts and then the IP address. Now of course we can ping ourselves, that shouldn't be an issue. Ooh, sorry about that, guys. Let's go back to our shell so we can get shell again. There we go. And now we're going to ping number 1. And we can get a response from number 1 as well. Let's see what happens when we try to ping number 3. And we can go through the whole network this way. You'll guys notice that there are some hosts up, but I think 3 is the max. So as you guys can see, at 4 it stops. So we'll have to be able to look at which ports are open on those other hosts and see what we can do from there on. I'm going to end the video here for you guys. There's going to be another video where we explain the concepts of scanning these ports for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, you guys know what to do. I'll see you in the next one. I would really appreciate a like. Bye everybody. Love you all from Uncle Rat.